Megathread, Ukraine current events. The purpose of this Megathread is to allow the Ask Reddit community to discuss recent events in Ukraine. This Megathread is designed to contain all of the discussion about the Ukraine conflict into one post. While this thread is up, all other posts that refer to the situation will be removed. As a Russian who currently doesn't live in Russia and despises all of Putin's Russian government's military actions, I am highly concerned about the well-being of the Ukrainian civilians who will get hurt if the situation escalated any further. At this point, I think Russia should get rid of Putin and the corrupt members of the government once and for all. Let's all hope the best for Ukraine and its civilians. 1992, Ukraine holds about one-third of the Soviet nuclear arsenal, the third largest in the world at the time, as well as significant means of its design and production. 1994, Ukraine agrees to dissolve the entire nuclear arsenal in exchange for safety guarantees from Russia, USA and the UK, becoming only nation in the history to willingly give up nukes. 2022, they are fucked and nobody wants to intervene because Russia got nukes. It's such a bitter and terrible thing to learn. No country will ever give up nukes again. I just saw that the Pakistani Prime Minister landed in Moscow. I am an Indian and this is starting worry me. No, Russia, put it back, it's not yours. Fuck Putin, all my homies hate Putin. A Megathread was definitely needed for this. Good call, mods. Hashtag I stand with Ukraine. In preparation of nuclear apocalypse, I am cramming as many bottle caps into my rectum as possible. I'm gonna be so rich in a few days, you jokes have no clue. Edit. I'm sorry if you've seen this message, but I need to address that to as many of you as possible. Don't just be angry at forums, it's useless. We know and really appreciate your support, but you can do more than that. I'm not asking you to fight for us on our land, but you can make much more damage to them. Please, ask your government and authorities to make more damage to Russia's economic. Small sanctions not enough, show Russia that they made big mistake. Show them that this type of aggression will not go unpunished. We're gonna defend ourselves without a doubt. We're here standing not for ourselves but for whole Europe. Peace from Ukraine heart. How am I even supposed to sleep at night with all the crap going on in the world? I'm curious for citizens of Western countries. What line would Russia need to cross for you to support a military response against Russia? I ask this as I'm not sure myself where I land, but I feel like I'm close. Admittedly, I'm pretty angry and an emotional response to provoke all-out war is not wise. But there's got to be a line, otherwise they'll just keep pushing forward. Edit. To clarify my question, as I've had a few responses on what they think is the line where a response likely would happen, but my question is more, where is your line where you would support military response as a citizen? Hypothetical. Jake Paul challenges Putin to a boxing match, winner takes Ukraine, with no bloodshed. Do you hope Putin accepts? As an American, I wonder if this is what it was like for the rest of the world watching us invade Iraq. What are the similarities and what are the differences? For those that thought Putin wouldn't go this far in 2022, what else wouldn't surprise you now about any possible wars moving forward? Russia is arresting anti-war protesters in Moscow live on CNN right now. Fuck Russia Putin, fuck the oligarchs, fuck his followers, fuck the trolls on Reddit. Can someone explain to me, objectively, why the invasion of Ukraine isn't serious enough for Russia to be cut off from SWIFT? Could Jeff Bezos not just buy Russia and call back the troops? My close friends have a child with leukemia, just turned 6. The family have been saving for a bone marrow transplant treatment in Israel, which they were hoping to do in the coming months. With the war right now, the boy is in a bomb bunker in the children's hospital and has been bleeding. His doctors don't think he will make it very long without being transported to another hospital. I am reaching out here because I literally have no idea how to help. Are there resources for a medical evacuation? Who do we reach out to? What does Putin gain by taking over Ukraine? What will happen at Chernobyl? It is in an active war zone now. God knows what will happen if a missile hit the container of the original plant. To be honest, the containment zone, since the radiation value is possible for passing through, will probably be a route for a surprise attack, and if either side decides to fight inside the zone, I really don't want to know how insane the Russian are and how desperate the Ukrainian are. Will the site be safe? How does Putin or any dictator make their soldiers believe they're doing the right thing? I don't understand what Russia's ultimate goal is. Do they want to expand to the Baltic states after Ukraine? Or are they just still mad Ukraine ever became independent in the first place? Why are Americans blaming Trump, Biden for the war? Shouldn't we be a little more concerned with being mad at Putin instead of finding another way to make it about, divide us? Dear Eastern Europeans in America. If you shop at any European food stores or markets, you can support Ukrainians by simply buying products made in Ukraine and avoiding the ones shipped from Russia. If there is an ethnic store near you that is a small Ukrainian business, shop there instead of a larger Russian store. Ukrainian-made goods start with 482 on the barcode in addition to a typical Made in Ukraine statement. This may seem like a small thing, but when individual Ukrainians boycotted Russian goods this way, the entire supply chain had to diversify in the country, and Russian business cited huge losses. Don't give them your dollars. A lot of the Russian government websites are down. Wonder if it's by internal design or external sabotage. Is there any news website that publishes pure war data? No talks, no BS, no opinions, just data. Where were strikes? Where are tanks? Where are explosions? How many people, etc.? Can someone just fucking shoot Putin already? This man is like a weird version of Hitler and needs to be stopped before dirty bombs start falling. My sister is in the process of adopting a boy from Ukraine. They've had him visit the US twice. Last time they took him to Disney World. He's 12 and says she is the best mom in the world. They tried to get emergency visas to get some of the kids out of the orphanage, but Ukraine said no. His orphanage is in eastern Ukraine. I don't know why I am posting this. Just so sad and scared for the people of Ukraine and knowing that others are affected and scared to death. It's a nightmare. It's a damn shame. We literally get the info as it happens, never happened before. Let's hope it ends soon. There are massive anti-war protests in Russia. Russia has detained thousands of people and are doing everything they can to squash these protests and prevent information from getting out about them. If the world knows that Russia's own people are very against this invasion, it will harm the Russian central government massively on an international scale. Make sure everyone knows there are those in Russia fighting against them and being stopped by their own government from speaking out. What are Russian-Chinese relations right now? Positive. If the campaign in Ukraine proves successful, is it likely for China to join and start a war in the Pacific theater? So can we be done with all the internet hero worship of Putin? No more pics of him shirtless, riding a bear, holding a rifle and all that. Does anyone know where I can go to donate money for the people of Ukraine? Preferably a cause that has boots on the ground there and doesn't take big stake of what I'm giving. Biden to speak in 50 minutes. I'm buying some Raytheon, just in case. It appears Russia and Ukraine have been in conflict since 2014, but an actual invasion never took place until now. Why now? I hate when teens in my age are hyping it up. Like, this is so cool that WW3 is coming. Real people and real lives are in danger while my fucking friends wish it was our country so they could skip school or some shit like that. Is there a private collaborative effort to launch cyber attacks against Russia as sanctions, retaliation for invading Ukraine? Where do I sign up? Does World War III has the potential to happen? Hi. Russian doesn't stop attacking. Civilians died. This is a terrible dream. I don't know if I'll wake up tomorrow. I want to live. Ukraine isn't joining NATO, so what does Putin want, since he's using NATO as an excuse to invade? Consider helping Ukrainian charity. May I ask OP to consider including this link in a post? The saddest part to me about this whole situation is the implications it has for nuclear disarmament. Ukraine is now going to be a model example for why no country should ever surrender their nuclear weapons, and I fear that we'll never see another voluntary disarmament in recorded history. Had they kept their nukes, then their sovereignty would have remained intact versus Russia. That's all any crackpot dictator or just any fearful generic government is going to learn from the situation. It's so surreal seeing videos of modern men with modern haircuts in hoodies and baseball hats kissing their families goodbye, possibly for the last time, before going off to fight a war in their backyards. Since middle school I've been watching the exact same thing, but in grainy black and white video from 60 years ago. It seems juxtaposed and gives a whole new kind of perspective on things. The good news is that this is not popular at all with the Russian people. The Kremlin televised a meeting with Russian oligarchs and they are already not happy. The head of the industrialists' lobby group tells Putin to avoid wrecking the Russian economy further in responding to Western sanctions. And I imagine even worse sanctions are coming. Honestly think the scariest part, aside from the world just watching, are the implications it has for a Chinese invasion of Taiwan or other lands they erroneously believe should be under their control. I just wonder where Putin will stop. Those so-called republics, all of Ukraine. Will he start snapping up all non-NATO nations around him or even start targeting NATO ones? Edit. Missed a few words. For the following weeks, what do you think will happen in this world with this Ukraine-Russia conflict? Does anyone else have relatives in Baltics or live in the Baltics? I've got family in Latvia and Estonia, and as selfish as it may sound, I am worried about how the war could spill over. What would happen if Putin were assassinated? Is that best-case scenario at this point? Dear Ukrainians, I heard on social media that there is fake news being spread, most likely by Russia-backed trolls, that Polish border is closed. It's a lie. If you seek asylum, go towards Polish border. We are ready for your arrival. We have reception points ready at the border where you can find shelter, food, medical and legal aid. Polish government launched a dedicated site to help you, ua.gov.pl. Please share this information if you know anyone seeking help right now. Edit. You don't need visa to pass through Polish border. All you need is passport. Visas are suspended. You don't need them for time being. EDIT 2, as a proof that you no longer need visa. In Ukrainian, in English. Hey guys, I am Ukrainian living in Kyiv. It is quiet in my part of the city, but I'm scared to death. Anxiety through the roof.